All right, everyone. Welcome. It's wonderful to see you all here tonight. And on behalf of myself, my sister, Dr. Rupa Chari, our dear and amazing friend, Louis Wharton, and the wonderful person who first introduced us to Bella Grace, Gina Novotny, we're so happy to welcome you to this special event here. We met Gina at a local health fair, and after hearing her inspiring story about the Bella Grace products, we knew right away we wanted to be part of this mission. And Louis has always been a visionary and an amazing leader. He's already shared Bella Grace with over 100 people in less than 1 month. Can you believe it? Truly inspiring. And for those meeting me for the first time, my name is Deepak Chari. I'm an engineer and certified biofeedback specialist at our center my sister and I and mom created in 1999 called the Chari Center of Health. And I use a process that I call advanced voice biofeedback technology with my life transformation technology program to help quickly and easily release stress and anxiety. And I've been doing that for 20 years. My sister, Dr. Rupa Chari, is a board-certified medical doctor in internal medicine for over 25 years, specializing in integrative and functional medicine with a focus on women's health, natural hormone balance, weight loss, and reverse aging. And she's been honored as the best doctor by the Women's Choice Award for the past 3 years. And now we're very happy to welcome a very special guest, Dr. Mark Luckie, who's a doctor, author, entrepreneur, co-formulator, and key leader with Bella Grace. Dr. Luckie has been in practice for 28 years. He has seen over, I can't believe this, 400,000 patients and has written 4 books, including Inflammaging, Unlocking the Secrets to Inflammation and Aging, Rest to Repair, Testosterone, Be Better in the Boardroom, Bedroom, and the Ball Field, and Red Light Revolution. He's an inspiring educator who helps people understand the science and health benefits behind the Bella Grace products. So without further ado, please join me, everyone, in giving a warm welcome to Dr. Mark Luckie.
Thank you so much, Deepak. I learn something about you each and every time you speak, and I just love what you do, and I love what your sister does, and of course, we absolutely love Louis. He is master at this model of social selling and direct sales, and then, of course, Gina is such a light. Wherever she goes, people are attracted to her. I have no question that when y'all were at the fair together, that y'all were just attracted over to her because of her smile and what she was all about. And again, I love working with y'all on a daily basis. And one of the reasons why Bella Grace is attracting so many smart people is because we have smart products. We've got these products, real-time products that give you real instantaneous results right from the beginning, whether it's our Bella Grace skincare line or you're using the sleep gummy. Now, the elixir does take a few days, but once you get it into your system, you start noticing those changes. And I want to go over those ingestible products today so that everyone here can get a better understanding of not only what we have here at Bella Grace from a standpoint of opportunity of sharing those products, but what these products actually do inside of you and inside of the people that you share them with. So without further ado, let's start with our flagship product, which is our Bella Grace Elixir. We call it the power of 3. And the reason why we call it the power of 3 is because of those 3 main ingredients. And those ingredients are Verisol B collagen, Asteril astaxanthin, and of course, cat's claw. Dr. Shari and I were talking about cat's claw a few minutes ago, how powerful that cat's claw really is. But what I want you to know is all 3 of those components have properties of being anti-inflammatory. They can all work and act as an anti-inflammatory. Cat's claw actually is the main one that turns off the marker for inflammation. But let me digress a little bit and talk a little bit about each product individually. The Verisol B collagen, it is a bovine collagen, but we're not grinding up tissues here. What we're essentially doing is we take that protein chain from the bovine and we take 3 amino acids, proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline, and we link them together in what they call a peptide. And peptides are signaling messages. They tell your body to repair, rejuvenate, and regenerate. Now, if you don't know, 40% of the protein in your body is collagen. Your bones, 90% of the structure, the matrix in your bone is made up of that scaffolding is collagen. Your collagen lines your gut. It lines your blood vessels. It makes up your skin, your hair, and your nails. So it's not just about wrinkles. This is about overall health. Unfortunately, after the age of 25, you start losing 1% of collagen production every single year. By the time you're 75, you've lost 50% of that collagen production. And then when you put on top of free radicals from air and food and water and just our natural exchanges of oxygen and carbon dioxide, you get these free radicals that attack your body, making us feel older, look older, ruining our joints and our health. So we need things to really move free radicals out of our body. And the next ingredient is the king of that, and that's called Astereal or astaxanthin is the name of the antioxidant. We happen to use astereal astaxanthin. Now, the collagen, 10 human clinical trials, most studied collagen on the planet. Our astereal astaxanthin has 70 human clinical trials, which means there's 80 human clinical trials on the ingredients in our Bella Grace elixir. That astaxanthin is something special, y'all. You know, when you have kids or dogs, pets, whatever, it's hard to name like which one's your favorite. At least I can't tell you which one my favorite is of any of those. I'm sure Kaylee can't either, all the chickens and things she has. But when you take a look, I gotta think sometimes astaxanthin is my favorite product. It's so unique and different. It's water soluble and fat soluble. And to understand how important that is, when you take a look at a cell, the outside of the cell, and then the inside of the cell, astaxanthin can protect the outside of the cell. It's got UVA and UVB properties. So this is why it's so highly important for the crabs and the lobsters and the shrimps all have a lot of astaxanthin in their system. They eat the astaxanthin as algae, but they're protected from that sunlight piercing through the water. It also gives you a lot of power. Astaxanthin powers the salmon to swim essentially upstream 10, 15, 20 miles to spawn. And if you've ever swam, and I know Uncle Mike has, he swam against the current before in those rivers that he fishes in, try to swim upstream 10, 20 yards, you'd be tired out. I can tell you that astaxanthin powers those fish to do that. Astaxanthin is a natural red in color, and that's where you get that redness of that elixir when you open it up. And again, astaxanthin, very unique. It protects the outer rim of the cell, but with the fat soluble, it can get into the cell wall and it goes right to the mitochondria. Mitochondria is where you're going to produce energy. Every cell has between 2 mitochondria and 7,000 mitochondria. And these are our powerhouses. So when they're putting out energy, and we're going to talk about mitochondria throughout the presentation, when those mitochondria are putting out energy, the output is free radicals. So that astaxanthin actually gobbles up and just really does a great job of removing those free radicals, which is why people are recovering quicker after injuries and they're recovering quicker for their workouts. It's the astaxanthin that does that. Astaxanthin also crosses the blood-brain barrier. It crosses the blood-retinal barrier. It has multiple free electrons. So the unique thing about astaxanthin is it can do that to multiple unstable electrons throughout the body. In other words, most antioxidants can only fight one thing at a time. Astaxanthin has multiple ways to fight free radicals in the body. When you understand the power of it, 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C, 800 times stronger than CoQ10, 350 times stronger than green tea extract, 100 times stronger than vitamin E. It is called the king of antioxidants for a really good reason. Astaxanthin, Astereal, they won awards. They won eye awards. They won recovery awards through the nutraceuticals. But what these things do together, the synergistic effects of them, that's the real magic here. It's how astaxanthin, cat's claw, and the collagen synergistically work together to do a couple of things. Really turn off the gene marker for inflammation, but turns on the collagen production matrix, that collagen production, the human collagen. It's not about you taking a pork collagen or a marine collagen or a bovine collagen. The best collagen for us as humans is human collagen. And the best collagen for you is turning on your own matrix for the collagen production. And that's what this formula does together. Why? Because of the cat's claw, it's going to turn off that inflammation, as we said earlier, that nuclear factor kappa B. It also repairs DNA. Those telomeres are like the end caps of your shoestrings. If you think about tying your shoes, especially those shoes when you were little, I used to wear the busters. The very end of the shoestrings, you had those old plastic pieces. Think like that. That's your end caps. And when they'll start fraying off after a while, the catch-all can actually take those telomeres and repair them. And catch-all's also got some antiviral properties, been studied on a lot of different things. And it's so unique and different. It's a vine. Catch-all's a vine that grows in the Amazonian rainforest. The ancient tribes called it the life-giving vine of Peru. We grow it now down in Peru on farms, doesn't require pesticides or herbicides. We don't use the bark of the root anymore because that would kill the plants. We use the vine bark, and really great for the inflammation, though, that controls other markers. So all three of these things come together, and this is the list that you can expect or you can see from other people, which is firmer, smoother skin, fewer lines and wrinkles, less cellulite. I know a lot of people want that, less cellulite, reduced lines in their face, healthier, longer nails, fuller, thicker hair. You're going to get support of healthy immune function. You're going to get support of healthy gut, recovery, as I said, from injuries, recover from exercises. Joint health is so huge. Dr. Chari, she's working with people every single day who have metabolic issues, but also they're talking to her about their joints, their shoulder, their knee, their hip. And I'm sure she tells them the same thing I tell them when they go, hey, it's just my age. And she's, hey, listen, how old's your left knee? It's 67 and it hurts like the dickens. How old's your right knee? It's 67 too, but it doesn't hurt. It can't be your age, because if it was your age, they would hurt the same amount because they're both the same age. So it's about how those joints have healed improperly from injury. And now we have a product that can reduce that inflammation and help people live a lot healthier, cleaner lives. So that's my presentation on the Bella Grace Elixir. I would love for Dr. Shari to come on. She said a couple things to me right away when she first tried the product that I hope she'll share tonight. Absolutely fantastic. Dr. Shari, come on and talk about your experience.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Luckie. So the Elixir is incredible. I know you've all seen it. I always keep a box near me. And so
I do too.
yes, fantastic. This is one of my favorite products, I have to say, of all time. And when we first met Gina and heard her inspiring story and how the Elixir had changed her life, that really was really powerful. And we couldn't wait to try it ourselves. And from the moment I took it, the very first time, I noticed several things. One is, which was, I took it later in the evening and I noticed my quality of sleep. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. I felt so relaxed, so at ease, and just had a beautiful night's sleep. Woke up the next day full of energy, and I've noticed my mental clarity, focus has been incredible. We've also noticed that our vision has improved, just as you were mentioning, Dr. Luckie, of how it crosses the blood-retinal barrier and blood-brain barrier. Vision has improved. Things are looking much more clear. And so it's energy, better quality of sleep, improved vision, memory is improving, able to multitask, which before could be a challenge, but I was able to multitask with so much more ease. And for my patients, they're noticing their energies increased very shortly after starting it, and same benefits as well with their quality of sleep. And they're saying, before I would walk in a room and not remember what I was going in for or forget things. And they said, now I'm like on the dime, and even their family's noticing it, frankly. And this is in a very short period of time. And I love what Dr. Luckie, you said to take a picture before you start the Elixir, day 15 and day 30, to start seeing results. And so I've noticed also enhancement with my skin, and patients are noticing that as well. So it's one of my all-time favorite products.
That is a huge statement right there, because I know you've seen a lot of things, not only in medicine, but also in Vardic medicine, also through your mom, who was such an inspiration to you and Deepak. I know she taught you a lot of things about natural healing. It's such an amazing statement. Thank you. While you were talking, I actually went and got this. It won a Nutra Award, ingredient of the year, the cognitive function. That's why you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So thank you for sharing that. We're going to have Deepak come on in a minute and share some testimonials to him. Let me show you a couple of pictures. This is a before and after picture of mine. Elixir only. And y'all, I'm already here on the left on testosterone. I'm already doing other things to help me, and I was still really inflamed. So that's 9 months into my Bella Grace experience. Then you've got Jessica after she went through a mold toxicity. We've got some skin irritation, some eczema, some things there. You've got Linda Paul. That is also Bella Trim and Elixir. And then you've got some skin irritation, acne, blemishes. You can see that's 3 months in. And then, of course, you've got, I think this is Kaylee's hands of dry, cracking fingers from using a bunch of hair products. And I think that's about 3 or 4 months in as well. So let's move next to, so if you haven't tried the Bella Grace Elixir and you're new tonight, get back with the person who invited you here and get on the Bella Grace Elixir immediately. It's $135 a month. It's a steal for those 3 ingredients. But I can tell you, you can get on subscription for $120 and you can get it for free if you share it with some people. Get back to the person who invited you here and ask them how to do that. Bella Melt is our second product I want to talk to tonight. Why? Because we just released it 7 or 8 weeks ago, and it is now our second best seller in the company. So I thought we'd go to this one. Bella Melt is our fast-acting natural GLP-1 salted caramel. GLPs, if I could just take a minute to go over a couple things. 15 million Americans are on them right now. It's going to climb to 30 million Americans by 2030. It's a $100 billion industry here, $120 billion in Europe. You're going to see, and you're reading stories already. Costco's going to start offering, Walmart's are offering it. Even the pharmaceutical companies are giving people deals on the medication, but you're also seeing the other side of some of the side effects. If you stay on them too long, if you take them too long, bump up your milligrams too high, these things will cause some problem for some people. Rick actually developed this a couple of years ago. Has been testing it on, we've got some new, by the way, we got some new testing coming out very soon. I can't wait to share with you. I can't share with you tonight, but we've got some clinical trials coming very soon. But what he noticed right away, or what he wanted to do right away, was create a natural GLP-1. We all have a GLP-1 that lives within our bodies. But again, because of poor diets and food and water and the things that we experience on a day-to-day basis, that has shut most of our GLP-1s off. And our GLP-1 helps us feel full. It helps us to say, hey, I've had enough to eat. I don't need any more to eat. And because it's not there, and because of artificial sweeteners, it actually does the reverse thing. It keeps telling you you're hungry to eat more. So most of us are eating more than we need to. We're eating empty calories. We're holding on to food that we don't need to hold on to. That's causing part of our weight management issues. 70% of America is overweight. 40 to 50% of those people are obese. So we have a real crisis in this country. So we wanted to create a product that was going to help you do a couple things: curb your cravings, suppress your appetite, and burn fat. And that's why Rick created this with these botanicals. So when you take a look at pharmaceuticals, they'll take the natural products, and because they can't put a patent on natural products, they turn them into chemicals, patent the chemicals, and sell them to the public. Rick essentially did was went back to the chemical side and said, hey, what would naturally would make the same actions? So he used African mango, which has a study from 2009 that shows up to 28 pounds of fat loss in 10 weeks, up to 6 inches gone. He used Cissus quadrangularis, which, by the way, I love too, because they used to call it the bone setter because it heals up bones after using it. This also suppresses appetite. It helps blood sugar. And then we use L-citrulline. That L-citrulline is amino acid. Remember I told you earlier that the mitochondria is where you produce energy. That L-citrulline, it's like a vehicle. Think about it like being a bus. And that bus is driving, or the L-carnitine is being transported by the bus to the mitochondria, and that mitochondria is burning that fat for fuel. So essentially, L-citrulline carries the fat, those fatty acids, to the mitochondria and says, burn this as your fuel for the body. And when you can burn fat for fuel, you get boundless clean energy. and you're not producing that many free radicals. Think about the Krebs cycle back in 7th grade. You have food in and then energy out. They call it ATP and a whole bunch more free radicals. This is why people with poor diets, lots of carbs, lots of alcohol, their skin looks terrible. They wrinkle up. Everything goes bad on them. So when you can train your body, burn fat for fuel, you're going to live a cleaner, healthier life. And that's Bella Melt. Plus, it tastes really good. You don't forget about them. Most people probably eat too many of them. And remember, they have fiber in them that expands. So if you're not used to that, so let's go back and talk about that for a second, because I know some of you are saying, hey, I've got some gas, or somebody said I've got gas and I'm a little bit gassier than normal. Yeah, that's going to be normal if you're not doing the things you need to be doing. So make sure you're on some sort of prebiotic, probiotics. You want to definitely do that. And if you don't like pre or probiotics, you don't know how to get them, eat sauerkraut, drink water. After every meal, take a 5-minute walk. It doesn't have to be a jog, just a walk. Stretch yourself out. We get into these forward flex positions where our intestines aren't working very good because they're just compressed down. Get up and stretch out. All this is going to help you. Take maybe a half a caramel at first and then take the other half a few hours later. These are all strategies. I promise you, you eat a big meal and you eat 5 of these caramels, your stomach's going to hurt. But look at the reverse side of it. Take a GLP-1 shot and then take another one. It's causing all kind of stomach irritations. They cause nauseousness, people throwing up, and some other things. So the other side of it is way worse. But Rick and I, when we looked at it and how I fit into it, y'all, and I want to be very transparent with that. He had the finished product. I just said, Rick, if we could add a couple things to make it better, would you be interested in that? He goes, what would you do? And I said, I would add apple cider vinegar to it. I'm a big apple cider vinegar fan. It's really good for your health. And he goes, that's genius. Let's put it in. So we did. So that's how I got involved in that product, putting some apple cider vinegar in, changing the magnesium. So glad, because it's so amazing. So what does this do? Fast melt caramel. This is going to suppress your appetite. It's going to help in thermogenic fat burning, and it's sugar-free, and it's going to help you curb those cravings. We're also noticing, y'all, it's curbing alcohol cravings as well for some of our patients. And I said it earlier tonight on one of the chats that we're noticing that people are preserving their muscle. Let me say that again. They're preserving their muscle and burning the fat. So that's important to know. They're not burning the muscle off either. And muscle weighs more than fat. I've got one of my very dear friends who I think may be on here, Linda Paul. She's not losing a lot of weight, fat, but my clothes are fitting better and I'm losing inches because what she's doing is putting some muscle on, and her clothes are fitting much better. And she's just looking better, feeling better. The whole thing is just working for her over and over. Let's take a look at a couple of pictures. This is Kaylee Kemper. So Kaylee, and I got permission to talk a little bit about her. She's one of our dear friends. Kaylee went through some surgery, some other things that she just couldn't lose the weight here in the midsection. And Kaylee, thank you for allowing us to show these pictures. I know they're not easy, and I know a lot of people wouldn't do this, but I appreciate you really showing us, because look at the results you've gotten. She was stuck. Tried everything. We even tried other companies' products. We even tried, hey, do this, do that. Nothing was working for her. And she got on the Bella Melt and immediately started burning fat for fuel and immediately started leaning up. Now, she also took her steps. She also ate her protein. She also drank her water. She got that mindset. And I want to show you another picture of her. Look at her face. And that's still on the Elixir, y'all. The picture on the left is still Elixir. The picture on the right is Elixir with the Bella Melt. So you can clearly see how that's working together. Thank you, Kaylee, for letting me share those pictures. Now, I know many of you are asking, how does Bella Trim fit in with this? Bella Trim is an amazing product. It's a botanical made from just plants. You've got the metabolate, which is essentially lemon verbena and red hibiscus. You've got the phos and gos, which are prebiotics. They feed your probiotics. You've got chromium picolinate. You've got some cinnamon in there. All these things are designed to help your metabolic health. I want you to think about it like this. Your Bella Melt is your input and your Bella Trim is your output. So I'm going to explain that. And before I do that, let me tell you a little bit more about Bella Trim. It was clinically formulated. It's a weight management product. It's not for weight loss. What we have are weight management tools, because a lot of people out there go, well, I don't need to lose any weight. Great. Use the Bella Melt so you don't gain weight. Use it as a light snack in the afternoon so you don't put the weight on that a lot of people are putting on. But it's going to help curb your appetite. It's going to help reduce fat mass and waist circumference. It's going to support a healthy blood sugar level, and it's going to help rebuild your microbiome. So synergistically, we think of it as a stack. If you want the best results, use your Bella Trim and your Bella Melt. I would use your Bella Trim in the morning and use your Bella melt 2 times a day or 1 time a day. And if you want to throw a little extra Bella trim at night in before you go to bed, that's going to help you burn some fat while you're sleeping. But your Bella melt's going to control that input. It's going to help, again, lower your cravings. It's going to suppress the appetite. And remember, it's going to tell the mitochondria to burn fat for fuel. The Bella trim sends messages to that same mitochondria and says, get to work. I don't care what you burn for fuel, just burn more of it. So the Bella trim's telling that mitochondria, speed up the metabolism, do more, work twice as hard, work harder. So the Bella trim actually speeds up the metabolism, speeds up the mitochondria. The Bella melt's how to burn fat. So I hope that, and it's also going to help you lower cortisol and lower blood pressure. And then this is proven through studies, lowers blood pressure, lowers cortisol. So it's a great product. It's a product that when we only had Bella trim, it had limitations based on the people's limitations of what they were doing because the instructions were take an hour before eating. I don't know anybody that will stop work at 4 o'clock and take a capsule. Now, I know lots of people that will stop at 4 o'clock and eat a caramel, but I don't know many people that'll stop at 4 o'clock and take a capsule. So this is why I've changed. That's why I recommend you just change it. Get up in the morning, take your Bella trim, take your Bella Grace Elixir, brush your teeth, put your skincare on, and enjoy the day. Do your caramel at 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So there you go. And then finally, the gummy. So I'm connected to the gummy. I looked at a formula back in the day, about this time last year, interviewed my patients. They said, hey, listen, we need a product. I said, let me ask my patients what they would like. And they said, we want to sleep better. So we put 9 botanicals in this product to help you get through your sleep cycles. There's 3 non-rapid eye sleep cycles and then a rapid movement sleep cycle. And if you get in the REM too quick and you don't go through your 3 non-rapid eye movements, then you are missing the boat because now you're not processing dreams, you're not processing emotions. This is why you're waking up too tired. This is why you're fatigued. This is why if you only take melatonin, you wake up like you've been running in dreams, like your dreams are crazy. It's low quality melatonin, and you wake up like you have no sleep. So the challenge with the sleep gummy is when people see melatonin, they're like, oh, I can't do melatonin. Let them know, hey, this is a high quality melatonin, and it's all about the 9 botanicals before the melatonin kicks in is what makes this so special. So those 9 botanicals, there are over 269,000 PubMed studies on the ingredients of the sleep gummy. So if you were to go to PubMed and look up ashwagandha, and you were to look up valerian root, and you were to look up 5-HTP and L-theanine and lemon balm and passion flower and chamomile and magnesium and turmeric, all those studies would go 269,000. They're all designed to do 3 things. And you notice I keep saying 3 because it's power of 3, right? Everything in 3 is good. So it helps you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, but then wake up feeling refreshed. And for many of you, you don't allow that to happen. You take a night or 2 and you wake up the next morning and you're not feeling refreshed. And the reason why is because you missed restorative sleep so much that your body's trying to catch up. The first 2 or 3 nights Jess and I took it, we slept for 9 hours and woke up the next day still groggy. It wasn't until that 3rd or 4th day 5th day, we woke up going, I feel like I just had the best night's sleep ever. And I'm so refreshed. And now we pop out of bed. I pop out of bed at 6, 5:30, 6:15. She pops out of bed at 7 now, ready to go. Like we have just had a best night's sleep. And that's why we developed the way we did with the 9 botanicals to get you through. You're going to build collagen in your 3rd stage of non-rapid eye movement. You're going to lower inflammation in your 3rd stage of non-rapid eye movement. You're going to process those emotions of the dreams. And this is why you need to get through 3 stages of non-rapid eye movement before you move into that rapid eye movement so that you can then really dream and get through all those things and process those memories. That's where you store memories. People who forget things, they're not really going through those stages, and they're certainly not in that REM. And you're meant to go through those stages multiple times a night, you guys, just so you know. It's not one time, it's multiple times. Deepak, won't you come over and you talk about the sleep gummies for yourself?
Thank you so much, Dr. Luckie, for that incredible and eye-opening information on all those products so far that you shared with Bella Grace. Wow, yeah, incredible. And as far as the gummies go that you just talked about and all those stages, yeah, I thought I was sleeping okay before, just like you mentioned, I didn't realize I was not waking up fully rested. And sometimes didn't get dreams at all, or scattered dreams or crazy dreams. And so I started taking the gummies. And just like you said, the first couple nights I was slightly groggy because I wasn't getting that full sleep from those previous nights, all those nights before. But then after that, the quality of sleep, like you said, I slept the 9 hours, which I never usually do. And that's because I was so backlogged on not sleeping from before. And wow, the quality of sleep afterwards, and then waking up refreshed and then being very present during the day like I never was before. And they taste really good on top of it. So that helps. I have to really thank the gummies. So yeah, that's been my experience. It's been really great. And others we've told as well.
I love that. Dr. Shari, you want me to do a little question and answer?
We'd
Yeah,
love
we have
to
some
do
time.
some Q&A. And so
Sure.
please, everyone, if you either want to raise your hand or put your questions in the chat.
So I look forward to that.
Uncle Mike.
Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Luckie. Great information, and I deeply appreciate it. A twofold question. Most of the people I talk to have been either kidneys, people on dialysis, and also prostate. Can you tell me anything you can about that and how many and what to take? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of people come to me and ask me, hey, is there any condition that would not be right for somebody to take our Bella Grace elixir? We'll just take the elixir, for example. And for me, the only thing that I would say about that is no on the scleroderma. That's when your body is going to turn into bone, essentially your connective tissue. But I've had a patient take the elixir with scleroderma, and actually they got better for a while. So with somebody with kidney disease or prostate problems, all this goes back to inflammation. And when we can at least help a person, we're not treating any diseases. Say that we're not treating anything. We're just saying, hey, listen, set your body up for the best position to be able to help you be the healthiest. And I believe for me, taking that Bella Grace does that as well, as putting yourself in that great position to remove free radicals from the body, reduce the oxidative stress, and get your body in a position to fight off whatever you're dealing with. I think at least one a day, if not two a day. One's going to be great. Two's going to be better. Over more than two, probably not going to do a lot.
Is that on the elixir?
That's going to be elixir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. For both the kidney and prostate?
Yeah, I would say 1 to 2. If it was one of those situations where, like for the kidney, if they could do 2 a day for 2 or 3 months, get kidney under control, then they can maybe go to 1. It just depends on what they're dealing with. If they're doing obviously dialysis, their state's a little bit different. They're sick, so 1 to 2.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. How about Dr. Lee?
I've been taking the product for a couple of weeks, and I am a good friend of Dr. Shari, and I want to thank her from the bottom of my heart for bringing me aboard. I didn't notice until you start speaking that I had a history of eczema, and I had a flare breakout last month, but I've been taking the elixir, and it's all cleared up.
Wow.
Secondly, I was scheduled for cataract surgery, and my vision was so bad, to drive at night was horrible. And I noticed that since the 2 weeks I've been taking it, I'm driving at night. I'm up right now, and my vision is so much clearer. And now I can equate it to the product.
So good.
And I
love
just want to
that.
say it's been amazing. And I want to say that I would love to talk to you and Dr. Shari know of the book that I'm writing. And I would love to have this product in the book that I'm writing, because it's all about showing people you don't have to suffer. There's things out here for you to heal. Feel great. Your product is helping me look younger. In the 2 weeks, people are telling me, oh, your skin is looking great. I thought I was already looking okay. But it's amazing what's been happening, the transformation. I love what I'm feeling. And I just want to thank Dr. Shari. I want to thank Lewis, because Lewis has been my friend for years. And Dr. Shari, because of her, we're going to be able to help so many people.
Thank you so much,
so
Dr.
much.
Lee. And I just want to mention from the chat that some other comments that people were saying is that I have so much more mental clarity, and I wake up every morning ready to go. And the elixir has helped regulate their menstrual cycles. And then to clarify, there's no caffeine in the wellness products. So
yeah.
it won't speed up your heart rate, which is phenomenal. And then a question from the chat was, one person was saying they're having a little bit of a challenge with the amount of the sugar taste with the Bellamelt, and they don't eat sugar a lot. And can you share more a little bit of using maltitol as a sweetener in the products?
Yeah, so maltitol is a low glycemic index. It is a little sweet. I know that if you're not used to eating any kind of sugar, it does taste a little bit sweet. Rick wanted to put something in there that didn't change the sugar index. He didn't want to use obviously aspartame with NutraSweet, didn't want to use cane sugar, and you couldn't use coconut sugar because that's going to change the glycemic index. So that was at the time his best solution. I think, as Dr. Shari knows, as we learn new things and more peptides and better things that will come out. But speaking of that, the back end of the caramel is that good salty buttery taste. I do like that. But yeah, that's why he used that.
Another question is, will the elixir help with bone-on-bone pain, and will it help with dialysis patients?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, we can't treat disease, but I have a lot of patients who come in, and y'all, honestly, in my 28 years, I think Dr. Shari would agree with this. There's really no such thing as like total bone on bone, because that would be no motion at all. What happens is when a joint stops moving properly and that cartilage, it's not getting enough nutrition because it's not moving, the bones will start putting osteophytes out. That still allows it to have some motion in there. It's not as good motion, but that bone on bone would be, your leg would be straight because you couldn't move it at all. That very rarely happens. But yes, if we can reduce the inflammation, and let me back up and just say this. They used to use the term osteoarthritis, and itis on the end of the word is inflammation. They got away from using OA or osteoarthritis. They use it now as degenerative joint disease, because for some of the patients, there wasn't inflammation down there. It was just the bones trying to close up on each other. But still, the cartilage down there is partly collagen, right? And you need collagen inside your bones and in those synovial capsules. It should help, but I'll never make a promise to that. And then on the dialysis of the kidney, it's inflammation. They're suffering with free radicals. They're suffering with oxidative stress. Put them on it. Maybe put it in water, have them shake it up, drink the water with the elixir in it, and they'll be fine.
Okay, and then the last question is, will the elixir work on diabetes?
That's a great question. Again, we wouldn't treat diabetes with the elixir, but we know that diabetes and these types of metabolic health issues start with inflammation. So when we can reduce the inflammation in the body, same theme I've been saying, we reduce the inflammation, the body's going to be able to work better. That astaxanthin is going to support healthy blood vessels. That cat skull is going to reduce the inflammation. That collagen is going to go support those tissues. So while I can't tell you, yeah, it's definitely going to help, I can tell you it can support a healthier body, which is always going to be really good when you're talking about diabetes.
Beautiful. And just another testimonial. So from the elixir, it's helped them with their endometriosis
Yes.
and ear eczema and burning behind the ears.
Wow.
And also she said her son, who has high functioning autism, loves the sleep gummies, and it has been a game changer for him, and he enjoys the elixir too.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
That right there, Dr. Shari, is why we do this. Like that right there. Gosh, that's going to make me. Sorry.
That's okay. It's worth it, Doc. This is the best call I've seen probably in my life, not just ever. This call is like over the top. It's worth all of us crying for. I had a girl that was crying on a call right after she took it. She hadn't walked in almost a month. And after the elixir, she could walk, and she called crying. It's just amazing. So yeah, we all should be crying.
When you can affect a child, that just is everything to me. Sorry, I got emotional. But
No, it's okay. We're with you,
what we do.
Doc.
Okay, I think we'll end on that.
Not yet. I have one question.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
made a comment about GLP,
Yes, ma'am.
and I really want to tackle that industry with my nurses who wants to leave the industry, but I don't know enough about which product. Can you help me with beginning to put that out there and put it in such a way that the nurses will begin to understand and gravitate toward that?
Towards the Bellamelt and away from the GLPs?
Okay, the Bellamelt is the product that I want to use to address the GLP.
Yes, ma'am. So when you take a look at For me, what I'm against is when you have these people that are ordering these GLP-1s from their neighbors, or they're going through China, or they're not going through the appropriate channel, their medical doctor, or an office that really understands how a GLP-1 works and how you should be checking in with your doctor. But just from a standpoint of checking in with your doctor, when you put these people on medications and you just let them free nilly-willy it and they're not being under supervision, that's what causes the problems long term. So those GLP-1s right now, Ozempic is being sued for $2 billion for not telling the public what it can do to them long term. So I would just say, listen, we've created a GLP-1, natural GLP-1 that helps people while they're on a GLP-1 to help curb their cravings so they're not reaching for the wrong things. But it also helps you not rebound. And I didn't talk about that tonight. The rebound is where if they lost 30 pounds of fat on a GLP-1, 12 pounds, 14 pounds of that's muscle. When they gain the weight back, and in 2 years, most people gain the weight back. They just do. They gain 30 pounds back of fat, not even muscle anymore. It's all fat, and their metabolism is done. It's just not working properly. We created it for people who are on the GLP-1, who wanted support, who wanted to transition off of GLP-1 and not to rebound. We created it for people who didn't want to be on the shots because they understand there's some side effects. And we also made it for people who can't be on them. Airline pilots, you put an airline pilot on a GLP, they're supposed to report to the FAA. If they get on a GLP-1, they have to report to the FAA that they're on GLP-1.
Okay, that's a great start. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We all have a great night. You want to close it down?
Yes, absolutely. Somebody was just asking if there's any possible after effects of Elixir, then that's it.
Nope. If you don't take your Elixir, you're still being bombarded every day with free radicals, which means those free radicals are going to cause your oxidative stress to go up. And oxidative stress has been linked to over 300 disease processes. So if you want the very best to increase your chance of health and immunity and decrease your chance of letting those free radicals cause you health problems, the Elixir is the best way to do it. If you're not taking the Elixir, then you have more chance of those free radicals doing damage to your body than if you are taking it.
All right. Wonderful.
You guys have a
Thank
great
you
night.
so much, Dr. Lucky. And
Yes.
you.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so much,
everybody in the
Dr.
chat too, telling all the things they were saying. I'm sorry I got a little emotional there, but that child,
No, that's
story about a child just made me just really appreciate what we do here for all of you. And I appreciate every single one of y'all.
right, everyone.
beautiful.
Take care, everyone. Thank you
Yes.
again, Dr. Mark Luckie, for being with us tonight, explaining everything. And it's such an inspiring show today. And we'll see you all again soon next time.
See y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Dr. Lucky.
Thank you, Dr. Luckie.